So I know it's been a while since I last did anything on YouTube, but that's because I've been relatively This is everything wrong with For Honor in 2019. So to get started, I'm going to talk about this game in a highlight, because I did enjoy some of it. The game in a core concept, the fundamentals of the game are properly executed, are fun as hell. It is not your traditional 3D fighter. Everything you do and learn about the game is centered around something called the fight icon. The fight icon is controlled by your right thumbstick. It controls your blocks and your parries and almost all fundamentals of the actual fighting portion of the game. So alongside that, you have your right trigger heavy attacks and your right bumper light attack. Comboed with that and other things like guard breaking, which I'll explain later in the video, you can throw what are called unblockable attacks, which in the name it states they are not blockable, but you can dodge them and you can parry them if you throw a heavy attack correctly timed in the direction the unblockable is coming from. Guard breaking is what completes the trifecta of what a fighting game fundamentally needs to succeed and play well. Guard breaking is what a normal Street Fighter player would consider a throw. So the core fundamentals of any fighting game are broken down into these three basic concepts. Block beats attack, attack beats throw, throw beats block. With that out of the way, you can basically break down any fighting game into a really complicated form of rock, paper, scissors. But with For Honor, it doesn't exactly work like that. They've got many overcomplicated bullshit mechanics in the game that break that fundamental triangle of what makes a fighting game work. So they build on top of that triangle of perfection with things like dodging, where dodging beats attack if correctly timed, and dodging also beats throw if correctly timed. But if you dodge incorrectly, throw beats dodge. So you'll see in later portions of this video that I perform what is called dodge baiting. So I perform a move that makes the opponent think I'm going to do something and they dodge. And in that instance, I perform a guard break, which on a dodge, if I catch them, is guaranteed. And then I can perform a mechanic that some characters really base their moveset around, which is called a wall splat. So the character I'm playing in some of these clips, Centurion, when you wall splat somebody, you confirm a lot of damage, like upwards of 80 damage, and that's a lot for a health bar. Some characters have too low of a health pool to take 2 wall splat confirms. They're what are considered glass cannons. They do and confirm a lot of damage with their high mix-ups and varying intense movesets, but they have no health to back any of it up. And that's the trade-off you kind of get with that. Now, with explaining all the fundamentals aside and kind of done with, I'm going to go into the lows and the terrible portions of this game that made me want to fucking quit. I can count on my one fucking hand the amount of times I've fought in a fight where it ended up almost being neck and neck. Almost every fight ends up being one-sided, but that's based off of picks and the way they balance the heroes, which forever will fucking baffle me. So we're going to use my boy Centurion as an example. So a really good matchup for Centurion is someone who doesn't have a whole lot of feint options, somebody who's very easy to read, someone who you can confirm a lot of damage off wall splat, and they can't dodge very well. Centurion is what is known as a noob stomper. A bad matchup for Centurion is literally anybody else. If you can feint pretty much everything, if you can dodge and you can basically mix up anything and you're very hard to read and you don't take a whole lot of baits, yeah, you're going to pretty much win against any Centurion. And here's where the fundamentals of the game, the give and take of the rock, paper, scissors that I explained earlier, falls apart. So say I pick Centurion and I'm on a map that is circular, that usually a dual 1v1 map, I can't win. There's no way you can win. There's no walls nearby. You're fighting out in the open. Everybody else has a way better mix-up than you. Unless you're playing somebody who's absolutely brain dead, it's over at that point. And again, I'm going to go into the mechanics, the way they've broken the fundamentals of block, attack, throw. So on screen right now is the fight triangle, is essentially what every fighting game breaks down to. For Honors is a little bit different, and this one doesn't even include the fact that you can parry unblockables, that you can dodge unblockables, that you can wall splat people, that you can trip people, that there are certain mechanics for specific players where they can throw an attack that turns into a trap, where if you go to block it, it traps you, breaking fundamental portions that have been embedded into players' minds for the better part of 2 years. And it doesn't work. It's clunky. It's a mess. That's not even talking about the fact that the UI is fucking god awful. Alongside the numerous bugs, which are like disappearing indicators, guard switching indicators that'll swap left and right on you. You can't fucking do anything about that because they're bugs. But the one thing that I think they should have already fucking fixed in the past 3 years that the game has been out is the icons on the heads-up display flashing in front of the goddamn fight icon. There are several things that overlap or decontrast the fight icon, making it almost impossible to engage in a fight while these things are going on. And they've been broken in the game for 3 fucking years. And it's not like the game doesn't get regular fucking updates. The game gets updated every 2 weeks to a month. But they just overlook and ignore all of these fucking problems because it doesn't make them any money. I cannot tell you how many times I've been prematurely disconnected from a match. How many times I, along with other people in the match, have been stuck in the fight loading screen. Which the hilarious fucking thing was, they didn't bother fixing that, but they'd also disabled the ability to pause and leave the mid-match loading screen. So instead of wasting 20 seconds and having to just fucking leave the match by pausing and exiting, you have to Alt F4 and close the game. They continue to push broken, buggy shit out the door and never fix anything they've broken to begin with. Even the cosmetics are laughably fucking terrible and have zero fucking thought or effort, just copied and pasted to every character. Playing the game with anybody who has more than 100 ping is unbearable, as you'll see in later clips in this fucking video. And the player base being so small and toxic, the sample size for skill range, you either clap some noobs or get clapped by some dude who's got 400 reps on you. There's no in-between. Moving on to another topic, the subreddit community. These people will probably be the ones that are downvoting this video, leaving cancerous comments, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Fuck it, whatever. I don't care. You guys are the fucking worst people to deal with. They defend Ubisoft and every single fuck up they've ever done, like wholeheartedly. I shit you not. I've gone to the point where I will not argue with any of them because it's a waste of fucking time. So to end this video, I'm going to talk about ranked and where I got most of these clips recorded from. Now, I decided to do ranked because they were doing what was considered a ranked challenge. So each player, when they first start the game, joins a faction: Knights, Vikings, Samurai. And each player can enter into this challenge and gain points for their faction to get a reward afterward, alongside the rewards you get for winning ranked matches. These can be ornaments, paint palettes, symbols, embossings, and paint patterns. This challenge was be the faction with the most ranked matches played. So I thought I'd take advantage of this, seeing as everybody was going to be playing ranked. To do this challenge, I would try to grind out some rewards for my boy Centurion. So I played upwards of 80 matches. And I did the math, okay? The drop rate for the most prominent and worthwhile items, that being paints and ornaments, everything else is basically useless, out of all the matches that I played, was 5%. I got 1 ornament, 2 paint palettes. Out of 80 matches where roughly the queue time could sit from anywhere between 2 minutes and 10. So how it works is, if you win, you have a chance to gain something, a chance to not gain anything at all. If you lose, you gain nothing, regardless. And your loss could be based on varying things: what map you ended up playing on, what they picked, because you can't see what they pick until after both of you have picked a hero. So basically what happens is, if I pick Centurion and they go Conqueror, who is a mad shield bashing cunt, and there's not a wall in sight, I've lost. That's the end of the story. If they're not brain dead and they don't let me hit them with full-on charged unblockable heavies, it's over. I can't do anything. So, as you can tell, I was probably very frustrated. I don't like playing ranked. In my opinion, ranked in a nutshell is a cesspool. It's broken and it's not worth the time. But to play it and then not get pretty much anything at all was like the turning point for me. So at that point, I decided to stop playing the game. And now I don't expect this video to magically make Ubisoft fix their broken ass game, but I want people to understand that you don't have to play games like this. You don't have to give money to the developers that constantly do shit like this. Because in my honest opinion, For Honor is an amazing concept, terribly executed and poorly maintained. In all honesty, I just want people to play good games. I don't go play a game for 10 minutes and then post a review about it, because at that point I haven't been through the highs and lows of playing a game like that. There are times where I will review a game till I've reached 500 hours. With For Honor, I wasn't gonna meet that mark because I couldn't stand playing the game. And that is why I made this reviews, because I felt so strongly about it, and I've actually gotten inspiration to do it. So to close out this video, I'm going to tell you what I got going on. I've got something going on with Hover. I've got a bunch of footage recorded. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do for an idea. I've got stuff going for Hallow Night, which should be amazing. I just got to play through the first portion of the game. I'm deciding to do it in chunks like that so I can experience it alongside everybody who's watching the videos. I got a bunch of other stuff going for Shovel Knight. I gotta do those expansions separately again because I want you guys to experience them as well alongside me while I do the videos. So that's the kind of stuff I got going on. I've got tons of footage. I just need to really think of some ideas. So I appreciate you staying and hearing my opinions and thoughts, and I just want to say thanks. So see you later.